Live with the one, the only Mark. I can't roll my R's.
How's it going?
I can't do it. Rodriguez, how you
How's it
doing,
going?
brother?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
You said no, no, don't do that. Mark and I have been on a meeting for the last, I don't know how long, a long time,
It has been.
and it's been several hours, couple, two at least, I think. Um, and man, we just got a lot to share with the world. I don't want to go too far into this,
No, no. In fact, let me
but
let me let me introduce myself to those who don't might not know who I am.
they might not.
All right. So my name is
Right.
Mark Rodriguez. I'm the president of a sales and training company called Auto Client Care. Been in the automotive industry now for well over 30 years, and just turned 60 this month. I have a 29-month-old grandson, two daughters, and life is really good. And so, I've known Ken now since like before the pandemic. I think 2019, 2020. Was it 20?
Dude, we got Dennis on here. What's up, Dennis?
Hey, how are you?
I met Dennis through Glenn Morshower. But
Oh, no
yeah, we
kidding.
did. We met in
It was before the
2018,
pandemic, right?
19. Yeah, I think
It was
so.
before the pandemic. The days of Clubhouse, what have you. And I
Yeah.
remember, I remember us having conversations. If I'm not mistaken, well, obviously, I met you through the Grow Live Academy. Right, I was
Yes.
one of the students in that.
You
Went
were.
through that
You're an
whole
OG.
program, OG.
You're an
And
OG.
if I'm not mistaken, we've been going back and forth about AI for quite some time, even during like with Chat GPT and generative AI and whatnot. And then
Yeah.
we kind of recently kind of come back to home base, if you will, on a tool called Notebook LM, which I use every single day.
Every day.
Every day. I have made it. Um, I've just made it it's just a major part of my it is my number one go to AI tool. I use it with Gemini. I use it with Chat GPT, and I think that's we're gonna be talking a little bit about Notebook LM this
Yeah.
evening, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing, because Ken and I, we kind of just got on this Notebook LM kick. We we started asking these questions, and this is not going to get political at all. But if you look at what's happening out there right now, I can tell you in automotive firsthand, since the pandemic, you had these salespeople who there were salespeople who left, didn't come back during the pandemic, and the ones who
Yeah.
stayed, they made a ton of money, right? But during the pandemic, you didn't really have to have huge, great selling skills.
Dude, say what's up to my buddy Drax.
Hey, Drax, how you doing, buddy?
Listen, Drax will get us hundreds of thousands of people on here, man. I'm telling you.
I love it. How you doing,
He's
Drax? Good to
legit.
meet you,
He's
man.
legit.
Too legit to quit, right?
Too legit to quit.
So here's the bottom line: salespeople, a lot of salespeople got very, very lazy. They got very complacent, making these big checks. And you can do that when you're making. I have one dealership where I had a salesperson was making 1.2 million during the pandemic, and I asked him. I said, "How many calls do you?" I'm thinking he may only made like 20 calls. He made 150 calls a day, and I asked him, "Who's this?" Gigi. Here's Gigi
GG.
the Midget.
That's Drax's girlfriend. She lives
Hey, how
here.
are you?
She lives 20 minutes from me, and he lives in cold ass Michigan. What?
That's cold. That's cold. So to finish my story, here we are, 2026. Salespeople are now coming up against customers who are using AI. They're using ChatGPT to have conversations via the internet. and an internet quote, and it's throwing salespeople for a loop. And so we've got to become more resourceful. There's a lot of people who are feeling, they're feeling that AI is going to replace them. And I will tell you this: in automotive, yes, AI is replacing a few of those tasks that those administrative tasks. It's answering internet leads. But I'm doing a couple of classes this month showing salespeople how to handle that AI handoff, where AI comes up against a wall that it can't handle, and it requires a human intervention. So I'm working with salespeople on how to level up their communication skills. I mean, listen, AI is everywhere. I mean, have you ever tried to call someone or call up a business and you hear state your name and the reason for calling?
It's crazy.
Okay, so what happens on the other end? The person doesn't hear your voice. They're reading your text, and if you don't have a compelling thing to say or to read,
Yep.
if the person hits X, you can't even leave a voicemail.
I,
So
y-
on my end, I'm trying to spread that message that there was a point in time where people were giving up on asking for emails. Who's reading email anymore? Well, email is becoming incredibly important as these Google and Apple algorithms are just screening and dismissing it. And I'm
yep.
going off on a tangent. As Ken says, I do the scroll. But what brought us here tonight was, and I asked him, hey, let's go live. Let's talk
Yeah.
about AI. Let's talk about what's the state of AI right now.
Well, can I back you up a minute? Hang on.
Go ahead, man.
I want to say this. Like, yes, let's talk about AI, but let's
And, and
talk
and by
about.
the way, drop a one if I'm talking too much.
Oh shit! You're about to get a bunch of ones,
Oh, for
bro.
sure, for
Um,
sure.
I'm kidding. Um, so here's the thing. Let's talk about humans. And because the fact is it's crystal clear. AI is replacing positions. What it's not replacing is it's not replacing human beings that have the ability to learn how to utilize AI to make their positions stronger, better, make more money, and all of that stuff. So Mark and I have been talking a lot, and I'm going to let him kind of roll with or run with some of the stuff that as most of you that are watching know, and some of you may not know, but I have one of the top podcasts in the world, and I don't say that to brag. I just I've done 640 some odd. I've done more than that, 650 plus interviews with celebrities and entrepreneurs all over the world. And what has made it successful is I just never quit. I just didn't. I don't have quit in me. And so Mark and I were talking about it. I'm like, he goes, dude, do you know how much wisdom and by the way, would y'all share this out, please? I can't. Drax normally like repost this stream, y'all, and but like so I've done all these interviews with I mean billionaires and mega millionaires and people in every walk of life, like literally every single walk of life. And I've gathered I always live by the rule that we can learn from everyone. We can learn from everyone. And so I've taken all of this, I have all of this knowledge in my YouTube channel in one single podcast playlist on YouTube. And Mark goes, Ken, you're sitting on a gold mine of information. You could, with all of the knowledge you've gained, with all of the wisdom that you've gathered from all of these amazing people, you could be writing books on it. You could be doing. I mean, you could. and I'm sitting here and I'm watching him show me this stuff, and it's pretty incredible what he showed me. And I taught some of this last week in the Grow Live Academy, our mastermind. And Mark called me on Friday, the day after, and apologized for not being there at our mastermind. And I said, "Well, you're not going to believe what I taught on, dude. I taught on Notebook LM." And he goes, "Dude, I'm the one that told you about that." And I said, "I don't know that you told me about. I knew what it
I
was,
think
but he did
I
show
gotta,
me."
no, I gotta give Joe Ingham credit. Joe Ingham told me about Notebook LM way
Oh,
back.
okay. But you have like you're on a different level. I mean, way different level when it comes to this. I'm starting to get it. But what I love about Mark's brain is how you think outside the freaking box, man. So we're sitting here, we're going through all this stuff. And then tonight I go, wouldn't it be interesting if we were able to, and because Notebook LM is basically a brain that you create.
Yeah.
Like you literally get to create the brain and you can make it as smart or as dumb as you want. And I mean that. And and Mark can I'm going to give you some full screen opportunities here too, Mark, but
Yeah.
Mark can explain to you just how deep this thing can go because it can take any idea that you've ever had, any thought that you've ever had. Let's say that you wanted to take the wealthiest people in the world, you wanted to take the intelligence or intellect of Elon Musk, and you wanted to take the intellect of Donald Trump and anyone else. Like you wanted to go, okay, how did these billionaires, Grant Cardone, how do they think? How do they make decisions? How do they make their next move? What kind of things do they invest in? What do they have for breakfast? Like you can find out all of this information, and which is cool, but you can take all of this information and piece by piece you can feed it into Notebook LM and create this brain. And I mean massive freaking brain. And it'll create PowerPoint slide decks for you. It'll create infographics that will rock your freaking world. I mean, it'll create all videos and it'll create what else, what are some of the other things, like you showed me this
There's so it's got
uh,
it'll create a podcast for you.
yes, a
It'll
podcast.
it'll create a so I want you to picture this. You're I turned 60 this month. All right, so I have a public school education from the Bronx, New York. All right, grade kindergarten, actually first grade through 12th grade, and then went to college. Um, and if you ask me, to recall like a tenth of what I learned, right? We don't
No,
remember unless you
no.
write it down. And I want you to picture in your mind's eye. And I'll use Ken as an example. The project that Ken and I worked on. Who's that?
Sandy McNichol and Megan. Hey, Megan.
Hey Megan, how are you?
Megan's part of the Grow Live crew. So's Gigi and so's Drax.
Oh, no kidding. All right, cool.
Yeah.
You know what? I got to start showing up again. That's all that means.
Yeah.
So tonight, we took a look at just all the videos that Ken has done since April of 2018. I think the total was like what 648 or something like that. Some
Yeah,
number
give
like
or
that.
take.
Yeah.
Well, I've there've been several that I
There,
didn't include in that list.
there
But
was a
anyway,
lot,
go ahead.
there was a lot of YouTube videos,
A lot, yeah.
and I want you to envision, having the ability to have a conversation with one or all of those videos, right? And his videos, they touch upon a number of different areas.
Yeah.
If you think about all the people he's interviewed, everything ranging from the spiritual, entrepreneurship, sales, you name it, right? So there's one thing I pulled up all his videos, and I grabbed a subsection that I put into something called emotional resilience. Okay, so I have them here. And if you share the screen, I'll talk about it for a moment.
Yeah, here, I'll put it up on the screen. Ready?
Yeah. So let me show you how this works. On the left hand side, so Notebook LM is broken up into three panels. The left panel is where you have your sources. Here's all these videos. So out of the 648 videos, there were 61. These are all YouTube videos. Now, if I click on a YouTube video, this is one he did with Chaz Wilson. If I click on that, you'll see the video, and here's the transcript of the entire podcast he did with Chaz. So now I can select all of them to work with. I could add more source. I could do research for more sources. But let's just say I just stick with these 61 videos, right? And in the middle panel is where you could have a conversation with with these YouTube videos.
It's
It gives you a
insane.
summary of the videos. It gives you the ability to
What are,
configure how you want to talk to them. So I could select learning guide. I could give it custom directions. I could choose what type of responses the chat gives me back. I'm going to leave it as default for now, and just know that I'm able to say, for example, let's see, the interview with Aaron Sheeks. So I'm going to put here. One second. I'm going to put here. What were the top three things what were the top three recommendations that Aaron Sheeks gave in his interview with Ken Walls? Now, to be perfectly candid with you, I did not watch that video. I don't even know when that video was from, but I'm going to let it run. So,
Sandy has a question here, and the
sure.
answer is no, it is not GPT. It is Google
Notebook
Gemini.
LM.
And I'm gonna take that down for a minute while it does its thing and say
Yeah.
this. Like, I saw a video that Neil Patel put out, who's arguably one of the top, if not the top, SEO marketing experts in the world, and he talks a lot about AI. Like most of us in the tech world have shifted to AI because it's the hot thing, right? And so Neil said, when you compare Chat GPT, which is owned by OpenAI, to Google, there is no comparison. Like
No.
Chat GPT, OpenAI, I don't know what their valuation is now. I'm sure it's way up there in the billions. Um, it's owned by a multi-billion dollar conglomeration. I think Bill Gates or Microsoft or one of the two or combination gave him $10 billion as an investment.
Michael Ballmer.
Um,
Or Stephen Ballmer, I think.
but but the thing is Google, who already has all the data on everything in the world. Google is a $1 trillion company. It is so far ahead of Chat GPT, and Google saw what was going on. And hey, Natalia, how you doing? Good to see you. So Google is so far, Natalia. This is my buddy Mark Rodriguez.
Hi, Natalia.
Um, Google is a $1 trillion company. Chat GPT, and just so you realize what a trillion is, that's literally 1,000 billion. Like, to put it into, it's like insane, right? So, um, there's no comparing. Google is, I don't see how anybody ever catches Google. I just don't see how it's possible, especially when you see what Mark is getting ready to show you with Notebook LM. So I'm going to put it back up on screen
Yeah.
here real quick.
So just to recap where we are right now, remember the left panel is these are sources, and all I did was I just populated these sources with websites, YouTube websites. That was it. I pulled in a whole series of websites. I could have uploaded a file. I could have pulled from my Google Drive. I could have pasted text that I had copied. I could do deep research, fast research. I mean, there's so much you could do with this tool. It's incredible. So I asked it a question based on an interview that Ken gave to a person named Aaron Sheeks. Now I have no idea what this podcast was about. But my question was, hey, what were the top three recommendations that Aaron Sheeks gave in his interview with Ken Wells? Ken Wells. In his interview with Ken Wells, Aaron Sheeks offered three primary recommendations when asked what advice he would give to someone who feels completely stuck and whose efforts are not working. Take action to be the change, solve problems to create value for others, stop complaining and waiting. Now, look at how much time I just saved. Now, let's say that podcast was an hour, right? In less than a minute or so, I pulled out three nuggets from that interview, right? You could, that's proof that this will save you time. Knowledge really is the new currency. Unapplied knowledge, though, is that's just sad. But go ahead, Ken. What are you gonna say?
I want you to show them. Take that and make an infographic out of that one interview.
Oh yeah, sure. So now let's move over to actually. Well, before we do that, the chat is such it's such a great part of this. Let me explain why. How can I trust that those three things it mentioned are really three takeaways from the podcast? Well, you see these numbers here, number 1, number 2. These are citations. So it's going to pull directly from the source so that you know it's the truth. You know it's based on the fact. Whatever was coming from that source, it's your proof of concept. It's proving it for you. And then if you look down below, it always gives you three topics. It says, hey, what does Aaron say about building value for others? Tell me more about the action equals results motto. Why does Aaron recommend reading Dale Carnegie's book? I can click on that. It'll give me more information. Let me move over to the right, the third panel. This is the fun panel. You got something up here called an audio overview. If I click on this pencil, I can do a deep dive, a brief, a critique. I could even have podcasters debate. So I ran one while Ken was talking before, and I ran a default one. I didn't put a prompt in there. You'll notice, if I move this over, you'll notice. Now, did I? Let's see. I guess you're going to want to ask if they could hear the audio. I don't know if I was supposed to click audio. Can you hear it, Ken?
No, I can't. You gotta stop sharing. And
okay, let me do that. Let me stop sharing. Hold on
audio.
1 second. Let me make sure. I'm sorry.
You're all right.
Let's click here. And now I do the share.
That's gonna mess up my other screen now, but
Is it? I'm sorry, buddy.
it's all good, bro.
Let me click on here and click on audio. Click share. Okay, now bring me back.
Okay.
All right. So let's go back to this this audio. Let me come up here. Let me click on hide down here.
Looking at some incredible highlights from.
So what I did was I asked it to do just a brief. Just give me a quick podcast on the essence of, I didn't pick any particular one. I just let it run. Let's see what happens. Here we go.
This is the brief on unconventional entrepreneurial breakthroughs. Well, today we're looking at some incredible highlights from Ken Wall's interview series, showcasing everyday people who found massive success by embracing totally unexpected and, let's be honest, kind of messy opportunities. If you've ever wondered how looking completely outside the box can lead to real wealth and impact, you're definitely going to want to hear this. First, let's talk about Jamie Coons. He started Poo Squab, which is exactly what it sounds like, a dog waste removal service. But get this. He didn't scale it into a multi-million-dollar 21-location franchise just by picking up poop. No way. He actually partnered with Silicon Valley developers to create this advanced automated routing.
I mean, it literally created a podcast out of his podcast, right? Look at this one. This one here is a slide deck. So I'm gonna make this larger so you can see it. But it created this nice slide deck. You know, these are some of the people that he interviewed: Kathleen O'Keefe, Giselle LaRose, Jamie Coons, John Dawson, Chris Goldberg, and it tells what they spoke about. You know, different pillars, radical intuition.
Hey, what was that? Whoa. I'm hearing myself. Like big time.
Oh, I don't hear an echo.
Oh, I do. Close the podcast at the bottom.
Yeah.
And now hear that.
Okay.
Way better.
So it creates this amazing slide deck. I didn't tell it to do any of this stuff. I just told it create a slide deck out of these videos. And if I wanted to, I could change all the slides. I could export this to a PowerPoint if I wanted to. It's just absolutely amazing. Here's it creates a video as well. Watch this.
You know that feeling, right? Of just being stuck. You hit a wall and you have no idea how to break through. We're always looking for answers in, I don't know, business books and self-help guides. But what if the real secrets to a breakthrough are actually hiding in the last places you'd ever think to look?
And I mean really, truly stuck. Like stuck in a job, a routine, or maybe just a way of thinking that just isn't working for you anymore. It's something we all go through, but the ways out, well, they're always super personal and honestly pretty unconventional.
So today, we're going to look at 3 people who got unstuck by taking paths that, let's be honest, most of us would probably just dismiss. Or
I mean, I want you to think about this. Well, you can take it off for a moment. I have a few more I want to show, but bring me back on screen. I want you to think about this.
Hey.
What?
Stop sharing. There. Jeez. When you're sharing, when I didn't realize it, but when you're sharing the whole window with audio, sharing system audio, I hear myself, and so do they. Megan said yes. It's
Oh,
weird.
I'm sorry.
When you're sharing
Okay.
just the tab audio, it works. But
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah. So anyway, that's all right. It's all good.
So the point I want to make on this is, imagine you, let's say you're studying for a real estate exam. You're studying for any type of exam. You're looking to gain knowledge in a certain area, and you don't have a lot of time. You could literally download this video overview or download a podcast, play it on your phone. This even has a phone app. So what Notebook LM does, much like YouTube does, it removes all the excuses. You know, I laugh. I really laugh at those folks who tell me that they can't do this, or they use the word can't. There's all the negativity.
Yep.
And in 2026, there is absolutely no excuse, you know, for you not being able to control the controllables. What's in your control? To do something like this, do something new, right? I'm not going to do any more audio, but if you go back to it, I'll share that again.
Just share just that tab, Mark, and the audio.
Well, the thing is, I'm in a different window. I think that's the problem. Am I able to share a tab from a different? Let me see. Hang on. Let me try.
Yeah, you should be able
I go
to.
to tab. So
It's
I
from
don't
the
have
same
that
computer,
tab.
right?
It is, but I have a different. I'm not broadcasting. I'm broadcasting from a different Chrome profile. I think that's
Oh,
yeah. Let me just see something
that
here.
may not work. I don't know. Maybe it will. Um, well, hold it. I can look because I have two. Yeah, I'm looking at two different Chrome profiles.
And you're able to share a tab from one of them.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Chrome tab. So I don't see the notebook on the Chrome tab I'm on now. You know what I mean? I'm not. I don't see that. Well, let me just see something. This would be. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't want
You
to
know,
change.
I think while he's figuring that out, here's the biggest thing I think when it comes to think about your stock like stock traders. What if you wanted to know everything about a particular stock or um, one of the things that I have you and I talked about, I think it was last night. My days are kind of running together. But we talked about, if you were to be able to, um, or no, it was something else I saw somewhere else, I think. It's if you can you take any company, the founder of the company that makes it really super successful, when they leave, other types of decisions are made besides what the original founder would make. And typically the company doesn't survive for a whole lot of time after the founder is gone. What if the founder never has to leave? Never. Like never ever, because you've trained a notebook to help you as the board, as the new CEO, as the new whatever. You've trained it on how to make decisions the way that the founder would make decisions. You run every idea past this notebook through Google Gemini, and it's already trained to think like the original founder of that company is, and it just gives you ideas based on and that's the other thing. You need to show them how you can go to Google Gemini and select a notebook from your library of notebooks, your brains for the various topics. You can select that notebook and say, okay, this is your source, Gemini. This is the source of truth for you. Now to I want you to take it to. We're getting ready to make this in a merger acquisition. We're going to do a merger or an acquisition over here. How would our founder have handled this? And say, and here's all of their numbers. Here's the spreadsheets. You can upload spreadsheets. You can upload all the data and say these are the numbers. These are what would the founder of our company do, or what would there's just so many freaking possibilities with this that people are missing this. Okay, people are using Gemini. If you're still using Chat GPT, I'm sorry. But people are using. I mean, I use it once in a while. It creates images pretty good and doesn't put the watermark on there. I like that. But the fact is Gemini is freaking smart, man, and it's as smart as you want it to be too. You can make this notebook LM thing the biggest brain on the planet based on the information you feed it. And Mark taught me this. And Mark, I'd love for you, and I know you got something to show everybody here in a second, but you know, you can go in, he showed you a minute ago where you can set the tone of it. You can tell it what it needs to focus on or whatever. And when you go in and you set that tone, you can put links to YouTube videos from your competitors. Let's say you have a competitor which you would never admit that they're doing it better than you, right? but in your back of your mind, you know they are. They're kicking your ass. And there is a way to take their video links and put it in this notebook and tell the notebook, don't ever mention my competitor's name, but I want you to look at the information that they're sharing with people in our same industry. They're doing it better, and I need to know how and why. And it will freaking tell you, and then it'll create infographics that are better than what they're putting out. So and everything else. But Mark, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
Yeah, no worries. So let me show you the infographic.
Look, Sandy said, so we don't need Windows. No, definitely don't need Windows. Let me share the screen for
Yeah.
you, Mark.
Okay, so I didn't put the audio on, so you should be good. So what I did here was, I'm going to show you the prompt I used. I said, create a stunning, oh no, that's not right. It should have been 16:9 infographic on these interviews. Something's going on with my keyboard. Anyway, here's the graphic. This is from the interview he had with Aaron Sheeks, right? Action equals results, the breakthrough blueprint with Aaron Sheeks, a step-by-step instructional guide to moving from stuck to achieving success. You recognize the stuck state, waiting for external forces to change the situation rather than taking internal initiative. Be the change you seek. I mean, it literally creates this diagram, this thoughtful, this really well thought out visual to give you the essence of what Ken and this person, Aaron Sheeks, were talking about. And I made it specific to one of the podcasts. And here's another infographic I did that was on all of them. Breakthrough blueprints, mastery of mindset and innovation, the inner breakthrough, mindset resilience, self-education versus formal schooling, intuition as a diagnostic tool, 4 agreements philosophy. I mean, it's unbelievable how it just simplifies the complex in no time. You can create flashcards. These are flashcards. So in Kathleen O'Keefe's kind of a So Dream acronym for remembering dreams, what does the S represent? Imagine if you're studying for a test, a real estate test, or the bar, whatever the case may be. In the So Dream acronym for dream recall, what does the O stand for? If you click here, see the answer. And if you want an explanation of it, click on the word explain, and it pulls it up in the chat. I mean, it's freaking incredible what this does.
It's insane, man.
It really, really is. And you can create reports. So if I click on the reports tab, I can create a custom report, a briefing doc, a study guide, a blog post, and then it creates suggested reports based on the sources that you have on the left panel. So I had it do a briefing document. Look over here. The So Dream acronym was shared by author Kathleen O'Keefe as a comprehensive method. The O stands for, like, it breaks it down for you. It takes you back to the scene of the education, if you will, right? Here's the report that we ran. It's just a briefing document and explains everything, you know? It's really, really powerful. And there's one
show
more.
the mind map. The mind map is mind blowing.
So
Oh
here-
my god.
So there's 61 YouTube videos here, right? Well, when I click on the map, boom, look at all these. Watch. I come up here. Here's Kathleen O'Keefe. Boom, she's a breast cancer survivor, dream guidance. Here's the books, Crappy to Happy, Surviving Cancerland, Sacred Doorways to Divine. And if I click on Dreams Predicted Diagnosis, watch what happens. It takes me to the citation. So you can literally, do a mind map. And if you want to find a particular podcast, in the case of, Ken's, here's Dr. John Jaquish. He has the X3 system.
Jaquish. Dr. Jaquish.
Yep. He's got the resistance training, I think it is, right?
He's got like 1.5 million followers on Instagram. He's huge.
But it's just amazing what you can do with this. Now, I'm going to show you one other thing here. Let's go to Gemini.
Yeah, this is
And I'm going to
crazy.
click on the plus tab. You'll notice down here there's the word Notebook LM. Well, I'm going to pull up the last notebook. Emotional Resilience is the notebook that we just created out of all those 60 some odd YouTube videos. So now here I could say, I can go in here and say, create a Facebook post. Why is this coming up with say create a Facebook post about Ken's interview? Was it Aaron Sheets? Here we go. Now, mind you, that I'm asking it. Right, what I basically did in Gemini when I hit the plus sign was, okay, go into all of these notebooks you have, pick this one notebook or multiple notebooks, and I could ask a question about it from here. So if I'm gonna hit go. It's analyzing it. It's looking for the interview. It says, here's a Facebook post based on Ken's interview with Aaron Cheeks. Breakthrough Walls, interview with Aaron. I had an incredible time digging deep with a really cool dude, Aaron Cheeks. Aaron's a veteran, an automotive industry expert who has some serious wisdom to share about leadership and getting results. Here's a few of my favorite takeaways from our conversation. I mean, this is incredible that it can do that.
It's crazy.
Ken, it is. Ken, what else? You want to stop
I mean,
sharing?
you
Doesn't
get
matter.
you go back to the notebook. Go back to the
Yeah.
go back to the notebook.
Let's
I
go back.
think it has. We have Grant Cardone's in there, I believe, when right after he
Okay. So
finished
why don't we
Undercover
do?
Billionaire.
Do you want me to do an infographic on
Yeah,
the
an
Grant Cardone?
infographic. Create an infographic about the lessons Grant Cardone taught in or talked about or taught in the interview I did with him,
Okay.
which was
So
it was powerful.
so if you want to do an infographic, you come over here. You can just hit infographic, but it's going to give you an infographic that's generic. It's going to base it on
Right.
all the sources. But if you want to get granular, you click on the little pencil here, and you can choose the language. Right? I don't know how many languages it has, but you could choose the orientation: landscape, portrait, square.
I love the portrait.
Okay, let's go with portrait. And look, you can choose the visual style. You can auto select, or you can do sketch note, kawaii, professional, scientific. That's new, Ken. I
Yeah.
haven't seen that before. That's the other thing. They keep updating this like
Yeah.
every week. So I'm gonna do, which one do you want me to do, Ken? You want me to do a sketch note,
The one you
professional,
selected. What is the one you selected? Over to the right. What is that one?
editorial?
Yeah, do that.
Okay. So I'm gonna do detail standard. I'm gonna put here create a 16:9. Why is it doing that?
You don't even have to do that. It's going to do a.
Oh,
We chose.
right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
I
Create.
would say create a badass. And I love using the word badass because it always does it. Create a badass infographic with the lessons Grant Cardone taught in the interview. Sandy says, "Geez, I am lost in space." LOL. I mean, Mark and I are going to do a series of teaching this stuff too, but it's so freaking powerful.
And so we'll let that run. There's another one. Oh, look at this. The intuitive survival. Look how beautiful that is, Ken.
That's amazing, dude.
When dreams detect what medicine misses. Wow. Is that crazy? Look at that. Even
That is
you created
crazy.
some movies.
That is insane. That's from Catherine O'Keefe, isn't it?
Yeah,
Wow.
that's so what she would love that.
Yeah, she would. She's an amazing lady too. Oh my gosh.
I could do a data table. So watch this. I've got 61 videos here, right? So watch. I'm gonna click on the pencil for the data table and say, I'm gonna talk to it. Give me a second. In column one, list the titles of the YouTube videos. In column two, give me a 3-line summary of the video. In column three, what should I put? Put the date of the video.
And now it's creating that.
I have seen people use this to do their taxes. They upload their
Yeah.
bank statements, and
Yeah.
they're able to do their taxes off of this.
It's insane how powerful this is. First off, I would like to know of the 76 people watching.
There's 76 people watching?
That's it. Yeah.
No.
Come on, guys, share this out. We should have 576. Share this out. This is some valuable information
Well,
for
all
real.
right, drop a one if you're getting some value.
Yeah, if you're not getting value, don't drop anything. I'm just kidding. If you're not getting value out of this,
All right, so
like you just don't,
put the screen back up, brother. Go
you're
ahead.
not,
I'm going to
you're
show
not
you.
getting. Oh yeah, here, watch this. Watch. This is crazy. This is crazy. Megan dropped a fire. Okay, here we go.
All right, so here's the table I created. Here's a list of the YouTube titles. Here's the summary. Host Ken Walls interviews Kyle Wilson, former business partner of legendary philosopher Jim Rohn, discusses his wheel marketing. I mean, guys, how much time would it have taken you to summarize 63 videos?
Right? It's nuts, dude.
That's crazy. And now here's the infographic we
see.
just did.
Let's see.
So now here, remember the prompt. Create a badass infographic with the lessons Grant Cardone taught in his interview with Ken. Let's see what we got. Now I did an editorial, okay? And that's what it gave. 10X Blueprint. Business lessons from the Grant Cardone philosophy, distilled from Breakthrough Wall Show, emphasizing radical action, strategic social media, and refusing average thinking limitations. Look at that. Average, 10 times goals, the mindset of the greats, right?
That's
Can't
crazy.
afford. I mean, it's crazy. Look at this.
That is
How
crazy.
nice is that, right?
What's
Commit
that say?
first, figure
Commit
out the rest
first, figure
later.
the rest out later. Yep.
Multiply your goals by 10. Get close to the power. Surround yourself with high net worth mentors. I mean, I would frame this. I'd put this up in my office. That's how beautiful it is.
That is so nice, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Like, you guys, like, you really that, and that's also a social media post if you want it to be.
Now I'm going to do something else. I'm going to make this one short. This is called a deep dive podcast. It's going to take a couple of minutes. I'm just going to run it, but I'm going to show you how. You know what? It's going to be. Let me.
It's
I'll
gonna
just.
be
I'll,
based
I'll just.
on-
No, no. I'll just tell you. You can take me off screen. You can put me back on screen. Because if I turn the audio on, you guys are going to hear echo, right? So, what if you do a deep dive with the audio? You'll see a little hand that's sitting right next to the actual the podcast, and when you click on that hand, the podcast will come up, and the word "join" will light up. So as the podcasters are talking, you can click the word "join," and they'll stop and go, "Oh, wait, we got someone who joined. Go ahead, ask your question." You
Yep.
can literally have a conversation with the podcast that you created.
And it'll answer your questions.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly right.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
guys,
not-
we've only scratched the surface of what you can do with this. There's so many different. You're only limited by your imagination. You really are. But the
Yeah.
applications of this, I mean, it's just so as an automotive trainer, when I go into a dealership and I train folks, I'll use a special, I'll use a recording device. I'll record my training. I'll grab the MP3, drop it into Notebook, create all these different study assets, and I leave it behind for the people who sat through my workshop.
Yep.
So now it's almost like they're having a conversation with me,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's so badass.
It's
I
incredible.
have I
Like
have a whole series of Audible books or audios, books on audio,
yeah.
MP3s.
Yep.
I'm able to drop in the MP3s because you could drop in an MP3, a PDF, text. You just can't
YouTube
drop in
link.
video, but almost everything else you could drop in there. It's just amazing. It's an amazing, amazing tool.
I want to look something up while you're talking. Like, again, we've talked about. I mean, you and I have talked about a lot of things. So, um, let me see. So
And
there
I'd love to
are.
find out if from what we've discussed so far, what type of ideas uh, are folks thinking about using this for? What could you see yourself using a tool like this for? I'd love. I can't read the comments, but maybe you could share, Ken.
Here's here is Think and Grow Rich, 1937, first edition by Napoleon Hill. The entire book on freaking YouTube. Unbelievable. Like there's so, like, and you can drop these YouTube, and it's a 10-hour YouTube video. You can drop these YouTube links in there and use that for problem solving of your own, or goal setting of your own, or vision planning of your own. Like you can you it's literally like I'm trying to impress upon you. Notebook LM is, you really need to stop ignoring it if you are, because it is so freaking powerful. People have no idea how powerful it is. Anyway, dude, we were going to do a 10-minute live stream. We're 52
I know.
minutes
And listen,
into it.
if anyone wants more information, dude, you're welcome to give out my information. That's fine. I'll be happy to help
Yeah.
anyone out.
Hit us both up. Either one of us. We're going to be doing some stuff together on this and helping a lot
Well,
of.
hey, listen, I'd love to find out would folks like to see a series on Notebook LM?
Yeah.
What type of would you like to see that?
My fear of asking a broad question like that is people don't understand what it's capable of doing, I think.
True.
And so the I guess the overarching question would be, is this something you would like to see um
There you go.
more on? Would you like to see more of this kind of content from Mark and I together? Or no, you don't care. Drop a 1 if yes, drop a 2 if you don't care, and drop a 3 if you never want to see either one of us again.
Oh man, so wrong.
I don't care. Look, let's do a series. She's
Love
voting
it.
for a series. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, is we could teach different. There's so many freaking parts of it. We could do a video every day for the next year.
Yeah.
You're just not reading your comments.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. Sandy said, of course, 1. Sandy's a longtime friend of mine on Facebook. I mean, we've been friends since, I mean, a long time. 2014, probably 2012, maybe. I don't even know. Long time. She's awesome.
Well, Ken,
Um,
thank you so much for going live, but I really appreciate it. You weren't
of
going to,
course.
and I kind of pushed you into it, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, I'm glad we did. I'm glad we did. This is important. I mean, look, here's the other thing, man. You can stop your screen share, by the way.
Okay.
This is the other thing, is 100 people could hear this, and only 1 or 2 or 3 might take some kind of action. It's just like that Grant Cardone graphic you just created.
Yeah.
People don't take action, man, and they stay stuck. And that's where I think if we do a series of these videos and we help people realize the potential that they have with this
Yeah.
to create something absolutely phenomenal for their businesses. I'm
Oh, and by the way, we did not mention that you can upload pictures. So if you have notebooks that you've taken notes in,
yeah,
you could upload pictures of your notebooks.
and it'll recognize your handwriting
Yeah.
and decipher it. Yeah, Megan and I've been friends for a long time as well.
That's
Mark,
cool.
you and I have too. 7 years, 8 years, probably
Yeah.
5, 7.
No,
No, more than 5.
absolutely.
Way more than 5. Anyway, it's a long time. So, hey, listen, everybody watching, thank you if you shared this out. If you did not share this out, you do have time to redeem yourself. Um, go ahead and share it out. I appreciate everybody watching, and keep your notifications on. We'll be doing more of these. I like soon, like this week probably. So keep your notifications on. We're going to be showing a lot of this stuff. You guys, yeah, look at what Megan just said.
What'd you say?
True. Those old conference notes are uncashed checks
Oh, you better believe it. Big time.
for
I love-
millions. For millions.
Absolutely, Megan. Absolutely. You're right on
And
the money.
Megan's been to all of the Grant Cardone conferences. I mean, she's a note taker. So
Good stuff.
yeah, she's amazing. So anyway, all right, listen, y'all, have a wonderful night. Mark, thank you, brother. I appreciate
man.
you. Your knowledge is insane on this stuff. So hang on, don't hang up on me, Mark. Everybody, listen, please go share this out. Share it to your friends, your enemies. Drax has this whole thing. He always does. Even share it out there to I forget how he does it so perfect. It's awesome. Anyway, you guys have a great night. We'll see you later. Thanks, Mark.
Take care. Thank you.